I've just gotten off the phone with Rob from Team Oxygen Addict and had a really good chat with him over on his Team Oxygen Addict podcast. I think it's being released on Thursday. Go and check it out. I had a really nice chat with him. Hopefully it will give you a little bit more of an insight into the past few weeks and kind of my journey from start to finish. If you're interested, I'll make sure there's a link down below, but make sure you check it out. It's on Thursday. Today, I just thought I'd take you through the differences between drafting and non-drafting and what I've learned over the past 6 to 8 weeks worth of racing, because obviously a while back I talked to you about the value of doing more racing, and if you want to get good at racing, you've got to go and race. So I'm still in the process of doing that, but we're quite a few weeks down the line now, and I thought I'd just give you an update on what I've actually learned and whether I've learned anything. I'll get straight into it. Number one, I can actually swim. So I've obviously been seeing all of these good swim times and performances in the pool, and I've not been able to transfer that into an open water swim. Even the past few years I've not been able to do it properly. So Llanelli happened, bit of a disaster. But anyway, we reassessed and we were just like, okay, what can we do to be able to swim properly open water? And I decided to reduce the amount of friction that's going on in the shoulders. So I made sure that I had a larger suit on underneath my wetsuit, so there's a bit more room, a bit more flexibility. And then also in longer distance races, I'd wear my tri-suit down underneath my wetsuit so that I, again, had a little bit more flexibility. Anyway, since then, Eton Dorney Triathlon, the PTO Eton Dorney Triathlon, and also Outlaw Nottingham, I've had the fastest swim times each time. And it's not like they're age group races or anything like that. There's been some really good swimmers in there. So Tom Bishop, Tom Davies, and other great swimmers were in the PTO race. And then also Andy Horsfall Turner was in the Outlaw Nottingham race. So it's not like there were any slouches within those races. So I can pretty much say that I am able to do swimming open water and have good swim times. I now just need to transfer that into the draft legal mass starts, where it's a little bit more hectic, a little bit more frantic, and I need to deal with people being around me and put down that swim speed in the right way at the right times there. So yeah, that's kind of the difference between drafting and non-drafting. I guess non-drafting, it's a little bit more tranquil, not as hectic at the start. You've got a little bit longer to get into your rhythm, whereas drafting, it's a bit of a fight to the first boy. But yeah, we'll see how that goes in the next couple of races, which will be draft legal. Number two is that AERO counts for a lot. So in the draft legal setting, yeah, AERO does count, but also you're in a massive pack. You don't have to be at the front of the race as often. You don't have to get as AERO, whereas non-drafting, you're on the bike for a long period of time doing a lot of your own work, and you need to have a good AERO package to be able to hold that speed. So at the very first start of the non-drafting journey in Eton, I was against Sam Wade, and I was putting down way more watts, but he was so much quicker than me, put so much time into me over a shorter distance as well. And I was just like, how is this happening? So I upgraded my bike, came into Eton Dorney, the PTO race, and was able to put down some decent bike splits with similar sort of power and outride Sam because of that AERO upgrade package. And then also in the Outlaw Nottingham race, I found that the speed was coming far better to me than it was in previous races. So thank you to CES as well for providing me some wheels for that as well. Number three, fueling is important. The Eton Dorney PTO race taught me that the hard way. Got onto the run and bonked hard. I've never experienced that in my life. So even in a draft legal setting, fueling is equally as important if you're doing an Olympic distance. Still important in the shorter sprint distance, but not as essential. I think you can get away with it. Whereas when you go long, it's definitely important. You cannot get away with it, especially on a hot day. So went into Nottingham to do the 70.3 and just had in the back of my mind, do not let this happen to you again. Had as much as I could take on on the bike, and then on the run also just chuck things in my face or at my face and hope that something stuck so that I was able to complete the race without cramping up or depleting too much. So yeah, all in all, learned from my big error, took it forward to Nottingham and executed it okay. Number 4, which is a little bit of a confidence boost for me, is that I'm in the shape that I thought I was. Outlaw Nottingham was pretty much me to a T. I couldn't have really gotten much more out of myself, I don't think. You always look back and think, oh, I probably could have done a little bit more there. But in reality, that is where I thought I was in terms of the numbers that I was producing. So yeah, I mean, what more could you want than seeing what you do in training correlate to a race scenario? That is what I'm trying to do every single time. So to see that in a race is really reassuring. I now need to go back down to that draft legal setting and perform to my potential in one of those races and see where I'm at there and see how that correlates to a position. And number 5, which is what I said right 8 weeks ago or just after Triathlete, racing is an invaluable part of the process. If you want to get good at swimming, go swim. If you want to get good at biking, go bike. And if you want to get good at running, go run. If you want to get good at racing, go race, which is exactly what I've done. And I'm starting to get there. Still not there. There's loads more that I can be doing, loads more to be done. Especially now going back into draft legal setting, I feel as though I probably have it all over to do again, all to do over again, whatever. But I need to relearn to race in that draft legal setting within reason. Obviously the past few weeks and months haven't gone to waste whatsoever, given me a lot of confidence, gone through the motions, gone through the kind of emotions of going through a race to a race and prepping and this, that and the other. So all of those things have been great for me and I'll be able to use them now going forward into the drafting races. Next up is the French Grand Prix in Metz. So I've got that this weekend and it's my first opportunity again to practice the racing for the Commonwealth qualification races, which are coming up in the mid-July and then the end of August and September. So yeah, that's my main goal, obviously Commonwealths and trying to qualify for that. But in the meantime, get that race experience, get that race practice, place highly hopefully and achieve the criteria for Commonwealths, and then see if I can do some European racing and hopefully long distance racing going forward. One last thing, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. I know there's loads of you that do watch the channel but aren't subscribed, so it would mean a lot to me if you even if you haven't signed up to YouTube, sign up, click like and subscribe and just support the channel. It just shows a little bit of support and allows me to carry on growing and hopefully provide you with more content because it inspires me to do so. And I'm getting there with the story, and it's not a story, it's my life. Like literally I'm trying to give you as much of an insight into this as possible. But if you want to see anything in particular, do let me know in the comments below. But I think next time I'm going to take you through what on earth is a French Grand Prix, because not many people do know. Can we be applying this in a British scene for more people, and can more people get involved with these types of things? So stay tuned for that next time. But yeah, like I said, in the meantime, do like and subscribe. It makes me feel a lot better and helps the channel. So thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.